But man, my story is about basically forgiveness and all that I've been through and how I realized that forgiveness is everything. It's the only thing you really have control over in your life. And as much as I'm this young, I won't even say my age, and the limited life experiences that I've had as a young black female in this country, I think my family gets the most credit for me being able to forgive. I mean, I remember my dad telling me stories about how he was in exile for almost 30 years and having to leave South Africa around my age, about 19, 20 years old, and not ever thinking if he's ever going to come back, if he's going to see his parents again. And it was insane. Like, I mean, how do you do that? And it just made me reflect on my own life and like the things that I've been through with my mom, who's now a single parent, and my dad that's no longer around, and making sense of this world around me. And so basically, my dad, he passed away about 6 years ago, and it was a very traumatic experience for me because he was the closest thing I had to the arts, to a friend. And when he left, I think he took a big part of me with him, and it was very hard to cope because I was so young. And my parents were quite the rebels back in the day. So my mom is Indian and my dad he's black. So my mom comes from this very staunch, strict, conservative background where she was the rebel kid strangling her lecturers at UWC for their racist comments. And my dad was just a man who loved music and loved life, and they met and procreated, and here we are. And my mom was always the one who pushed me. But I feel like it's as though she pushed me because life didn't afford her the same things that she could have wanted for herself. So my dad was always my savior. So my mom would be like, well, you need to be an engineer, Indian side talking. You have to be an accountant, someone important. My dad is like, no man, come on, go teach people how to scuba dive in Bali, like, love your life. And when he passed away, I remember feeling so alone. And prior to being a digital marketer and entering this crazy advertising industry that I'm about to get into, I used to be an artist, and I used to sit with my dad, and he would like do his compositions on the piano and talk to all these guys, Abu Brahima Sikela and all these guys, and I'd be there drawing. And when he passed away, I haven't picked up a pen in like 6 years. I can't, like, it feels, it's not the same. It feels not even wrong. It just feels like I don't have that connection anymore. But I think now that I'm getting a bit older and I'm starting to self-regulate a bit more and think about things before I actually do them, I've been thinking about forgiveness a lot, and what my dad has taught me, especially considering that apartheid took a huge chunk of his life and claimed his homestead that he called home for so many years, and he was never angry. I mean, sure, he was upset, it was wrong, whatever, but I never remember him being mad. I remember him always telling me about the good things about this country and everything that it has to offer. And I mean, even in his songs and everything that he did, it's just like more of it was more about longing and lament, I think, for home that he lost for so many years. And then I think after that, it also takes me back to my grandmom, who is Griqua. I don't know if you guys know Griqua, the Griqua tribe, so they're in the Transkei. And I mean, she, just like my mom, married an Indian man, and they were the only mixed race family in this small Durban town for a long time. But I never hear her speaking about anything in a negative light, but it's just astounding. And I just think about how it's aided me in forgiving other people, you know, like how arts and culture has helped me to forgive myself for a lot of things, former friends, current lovers, bugs that fly in my house. And man, you can't hold things in your heart. You can't. I mean, with everything going on in the internet and Twitter being so buck wild the way it is, you can't let these things get to you and get the better of you. And I just think that now, as I stand here in front of all of you, it's just such a revelation that I've been having these last few weeks about forgiveness and forgiving people. And I mean, an unforgiving heart is just, you know, fertile soil for resentment and bitterness to grow, you know. And I've realized if I don't forgive, then what's the point of being here, you know? And I mean, being in the digital marketing space as well, dealing with people's tweets and just the internet landscape alone, it's a very unforgiving world. People have no chill. They will just call you out and tell you like it is, and you just have to respond as politely as possible, even though you're swearing deep down in your head. But yeah, like it's been interesting, and yeah, forgiveness. Thank you.